Now that we've installed Sublime Text, let's take a look at how to use it. We'll see that I've already opened up my Sublime Text editor on my computer. I did so by searching for it in my applications, which you should be able to do as well, whether you're on a Mac or a PC. So the first thing we want to do now that we have our text editor open is to create a new file. And I'm going to do this by selecting File, New File, and we see that an untitled file opens in our text editor. I'm going to type some text in my file, for instance, hello world. And the first thing that we'll notice as we type is that the name of our file changes to whatever text is now in our text editor. And the reason for this is that we haven't saved our file as a particular file name. So let's fix that by going to File, Save As, and it'll open up our documents where we may save our file as a particular file. And in this case, I want to save my file in my Resume Builder folder. Now, of course, you probably don't have your Resume Builder folder created yet, so you can fix this by selecting New Folder. And once you select New Folder, it's just the normal process you're used to in your Finder or your Windows Explorer of naming the folder Resume Builder. So, once we have Resume Builder created, we're going to click into that. Again, you won't have these folders listed out, but you can create a folder of whatever you'd like. So for instance, you might create a folder called Examples and store some of the instructors, some of my examples in that folder. So feel free to create a folder and name it whatever you like. In this case, I'm going to choose my Lessons folder. I'm going to choose my Lessons folder. I'm going to go into my Setup and then the My folder, and I'm going to save it as index.html. And simply click Save. Now we see that the name of our folder is changed to index.html. But it would be nice if we could see the entire folder listed in our panel over here rather than this individual folder that's included in that. So I'm going to open up that folder by going to File, Open Folder, and we'll see that the default location is directly inside the folder. So I'm going to click on the parent folder, Setup, and now I can select this folder. So I click it once, click Select Folder, and now it's opened up this folder in a new window. So I'm going to close out of the old window that only had the index.html file and use this window instead. Now there's one last thing that we're going to want to be able to do whenever we're using Sublime Text, and that is create a new folder directly within our Sublime Text editor. We can do this by clicking on our existing folder and selecting New Folder. And we'll notice at this bottom of our Sublime Text editor, there's this folder name field that we can fill out with. For instance, I'm going to type in Images, click Enter, and now we have this new folder nested within the folder that we have opened in our text editor. Of course, there are a number of other things we can do with Sublime Text, but for the purposes of these courses, we really only need to know how to create a new file, save that file, create new folders and open folders that contain our project files, and then use the text editor appropriately, which I believe we've covered all of those in this video, so we're ready to move on to the next thing.